Hello, friends. You're welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you here. Today, I'm going to be I'm going to be showing us something very interesting, and I hope we are going to learn a lot from it. A few days ago or some weeks back, I decided to have a look at Vue.js. Vue.js is a JavaScript framework, a JavaScript web framework, right? So I came across an amazing tutorial on how to build a Vue.js app, on how to build a Vue.js app, like a very simple app. And this is what I followed the tutorial, and this is what I came. This is what this was the result. So we built a simple task tracker, and that does few operations, right? You can add the task here through this form. Notice that when I click on add task, it's drops down a form, the button changes, and you can add a new task here. Let's say work today by 5 p.m. Set reminder, right? Then once you put save task here, it creates a new task down here. And if you could also create as much as you want, right? You could delete the task by simply clicking this red icon and it deletes it. You can also toggle the tasks. Once you toggle it, this is actually for a reminder, right? Once you click on this set reminder while creating your task, it's going to add this green border on this left side. So if you want to change it, you change it like this, like this. So basically, that's what it does. It adds and it also deletes tasks. And it was built with Vue.js. And we also have a database, right? But it's sort of a server, right? A local server. And it's actually how do I put it now? It's basically a local server on your system. And we had to install a package to use it. It's called JSON server. So if you check our package JSON, you can see the JSON server. I'm trying to find it. The package log JSON. Yeah, so that's it. So once you install it, it sort of helps you to create a local database you can use on your local host. And our database is right here as a JSON file. So whenever you make changes to your application, it's it makes changes to these files here. So as you can see, these three items are the three items you're seeing here. So it's a very simple app, and I thought that I'll create it using React and see how that's gonna go. So basically in this video I'm going to be recreating this application using React JS, and I hope that turns out well. So if you like to learn, if you like to continue watching, just take a take a cup of tea and pick up your laptop if you're using your laptop. If you want to work alongside and join me. I hope this works out well. Right. So first of all start by creating. I'm gonna end this server, right? Or do I leave it running? Okay, let me just go ahead and create and open a new Visual Studio Code window. So I'm going to start by creating a new React project, and I've done that in some of a previous video. So it's quite simple. So I'll go into the directory that I want. Usually I have a folder called learn where I put work where I put projects that are not related to work. So if you have something like that, just go into the directory and run this command to create a new React app. So npx create React app, and I'm going to call it task tracker. So hit enter, and it's going to take a while to create. depending on your network and some other things. Okay, and our installation is done. That took a while. I hope it didn't take so much time. If you're doing it currently, if you're currently doing it, sometimes it fails, right? Due to network weak connection, weak internet. So you could just run the command again. So once it's done, you can see that it's going to give you the following messages, right? Success, created task tracker at this directory. Inside that directory, you can run several commands. npm start starts the development server. npm run build builds the app into static files, and so on and so forth. Um, so I'm gonna close this other VS Code where my view app is running. I've already taken a screenshot of the application, right? Um, I've taken a screenshot of the application and I've placed it here inside of my browser, so I can close this. I'm just gonna go into I'm gonna open this project in my VS Code and we can start hacking on it. I can do that two ways, right? I could use that via the command or I could do this via the GUI. But let's just cd into the directory. Cd means change directory in case you don't know. And then I'll just use code dot and it's going to open my project in new VS Code. So I can close this one. Uh, yeah, let's see. That's not necessary. So here we have our task tracker project in the new VS Code window. Let me increase my font size. So we're going to start by running the project using npm start command. It's quite simple. Once you run npm start, it's going to open up it's going to run the application, start the application, and you're going to see what it looks like in a second. Yeah, this is what a new React project looks like. So let me run you through the code base and the file structure. So we have our node modules, which is basically where our packages are installed. Right, when you install a new package, it's going to be placed inside here. We have public folder, which contains index, HTML folder, and a couple of other files. This is our React logo, which we won't be using, so I could delete it. And in here we have our source code, a couple of files, and this is where we're going to be majorly working. Git ignore just means you're supposed to put in files that are going to be ignored by Git. And more on that later. Package log.json and package JSON contains like your application manifest and a lot of items, basically dependencies, right? Scripts and a lot of other stuff. The README is just basically what this application is about. Whether you could put in your application description right here, but we won't be doing that today. So this is the start of our code. This is where our application looking for index.js, right? So this is where our application is, and we have a couple of important files. They are all important. This is our app, and then you could see that it's being imported from the app file. So if you hold Control and click on this, usually it should open up the file for you. It's taking a while, so let me just open it. Okay, it's opened it. So this is the file that is you're currently seeing on your browser. It's our app. We have a div, a header, an image. This is our app logo. If I comment this out, right, and I save, if I comment this out and I reload my application, if usually when you save, when you hold Control S or save, it's gonna reload the app so that the changes that were made can be seen. So the logo is gone. You see our edits, you can see this text right here and all that. So we're gonna start working on this file. And the first thing I'll do is to clear the ground, right? So I'm going to clear everything here and save my application, save my file, and you can see that everything is gone. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is creating the header, right, which is this button, this text, and this button. Okay, so how am I going to do that? So inside of my app.js file, oh, okay, let's do something like this. As tracker, you can see that right here. I think I may have to close my Vue.js so it doesn't distract us. I felt like I may need to have this open, but let me just close it. Better. We have a task tracker here, but I would like that to be a bit bigger. So I'll start by I'll use the H1 tag instead. Let me get rid of this import because we are not using it anymore. Also notice that if you're familiar with React, I hope every files usually have your imports at the start of your file. You have your function, your components, and then exports. So currently we have just one import, which is our app.css. This app.css is the CSS is a styling of the app.js file. So whatever styling you want your app.js file to use, you're gonna import it into the file, right? But we already have one here, so if we need to make any changes, we will just make our changes here. Hope that makes sense. So let's see what this looks like. We now have H1. It looks bigger. Then the next thing I'm gonna add is a button. I'm gonna add a button tag that says add task. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks fine for now. Okay, so um I would like to add a div. I would like to put this header in a div, or let me use a header instead. A header tag makes more sense because basically what we have at the top, and I want it to be in the header tag. Yeah, so right now let me look at that CSS. And we need to delete all this. Yeah, I definitely need to. I won't be using any of this. Right. So let's see what okay. We still have our fonts styles. So I'd like to we are looking at we're working with this. So and the header has the text and the button on hurry side by side, right? So I would like to make the task tracker and our button to be side by side. So I can simply come in here and add in a new class. new style, header, and I'll say flex direction, display of flex direction is going to be row. Yeah, we're making progress. It may not look better, but we're making progress. So also here, I think I would like to have a display of flex in our app. You could see that our parent div has a class name of app. So whatever style we apply in here is gonna affect the whole of this screen. So I would like my items to be at the center, and let's do that by also using the display of flex, align items center, um, justify content center. Okay, so this works, right? For a start, this is fine. I also like to give my header a width, let's say, of 500 px, and I would like the items to be spaced. I think I'll space between. Yeah, we have some space between, and I also need a margin here. Margin, let's say 20 px top and bottom, 40 px left and right. We have some space at the top. Okay, let's just make everything 40 px. Okay, so I don't want to spend so much time on the CSS. So, what do we see? What do we have here? So our button, of course, we already have add task here. I think it's going to be safe for me to divide my screen so I don't keep going backward and forward. So I like to target my button. I'll just do that by doing this. Or I learned something, I learned this yesterday. Let me see what that looks like. All on set. I'm having some errors here. What's the issue? A call unexpected. Okay, this isn't SCSS. I think I would like to change this to SCSS so I can easily nest my styles, right? I've forgotten that this is not SCSS, so I'll just change this to SCSS. I think I also need to install the package. Let me see. Um, Back to our app.js, we have SCSS here. Let's see. Yeah, I cannot find Modusa, so I need to install this package. So let me just I think I have to end this npm install SASS. I hope this is the right way to do it. So we're gonna wait for a while. So this is how you install new packages from the npm. Okay, so that's done. Added two packages and audited 1473 packages. So let's run our application again. I like to clear this and just restart our application. Perfect. So we can continue with this. So this shouldn't show any errors when I try to nest this style. Yeah, so I saw this earlier yesterday on set. Yeah, basically it unsets all the default styles of the button and now we can start to use ours. Let's see width of 100 px, background color of green, green, height of 150 px. What does that look like? Okay, not too big or too small. And the color of the text, we want it to be white. We want some border radius of say 5 px. Looks a bit better. Still feels really big. Let me see 80. Oh no, 80 px, not 800. Let's see padding. I love the top padding. Let's say 5 px, 10 px. Oh, seems very big up there. Let's say 2 px, 8 px. This is manageable. It still feels odd. It's better. Right. So notice that our task tracker and our task they are not on the same line. So how do we fix that? Let's see. Let's see. Align item center. Yeah, that's perfect now. Yeah, that looks good. Right. So usually React works with components, right? It's usually nicer to you divide your application into components. Like if you check out this View app, the main application, it's actually divided into several components. We have this top part called the header, we have this part called the form, we have this part called the list of items. So and usually we can separate components into various files. It makes for cleaner code, easier to understand and also easier to what's the word easier to maintain. So I'm going to be separating this header into a separate file. So I'll do that by simply copying. Let me increase this. Copying this code into a new file. Yeah. So you can clear up this place. Okay. So let me show you how that works. So right inside my SRC, there are two ways to do it, but I think I would like to create a folder first. Call it my header. And inside this folder, I'm going to have two files. The first is index.js, and the second is the styles index.scss. Okay, so I'll simply cut this, paste it inside here. So let me create my header component. I'll call it header. Use an arrow function, and it's going to look like this. Return header. Then I'll have export default header. The CSS is the CSS for the header. I'll just take it away like so. I may having an error. Okay, like this. And I'll paste it inside here. And let's look at our application. It looks empty now. Let's app.js. So I just saved it. So there's nothing on it because I've just cut out the header tags. So I'm going to import the header like this. Usually my VS Code has a way of just completing things for me. It's called IntelliSense. So I don't have to worry too much about knowing how to import it. Once I start typing the header, it just brings out a list of items, and then once I click enter, it completes it for me. So all I'm simply going to do is this. So my header has appeared, but I don't have all those H1 tags and button tags. I just have to import it like so. So when I go back into the file, it's still we have the other the other items in it. But we notice that we our header doesn't look so nice. We've passed this stage and it looks better now. But here it doesn't look better. It doesn't look like what it should. And that's because we haven't imported our style. So I can easily do that by this, by importing ind index.scss. And automatically our header looks better again. Okay, so I would like to also create a border, right? Because we do have a line, it's a border around our application. So I'll just do that, and then we'll continue in our next video. So going back to our app.js, what do we do? Well, we have our parent div here, and let's try to style our parent div app.scss. So let's see, let's try to add a border on px solid black. Okay, doesn't look good. I think it's okay for now. I believe as we add more items, it's going to increase in length, right? Let's try to add something like hi. I hope to increase your space to accommodate me and my. Okay. We need to make one more adjustment to our app so that it's not gonna add things today. It's gonna add every new item um towards the bottom and not towards the side. So we'll just set our flex direction to row column. So yeah, I think it's increasing as we add more things. Also, I don't really like this black color. Let's try something gray. Okay, that's too gray. That's too light. A1. Does this look like? Uh, let's try some border radius of 4 px. I think we could manage this for now. We could manage this. And okay, let's I forgot to add something else to our add task, right? Right now it doesn't it looks like a button, right? But it's not good enough. I want to add something so that whenever I hover over it, it's gonna show me it's gonna it's gonna look like something that is responsive. So inside of my header folder in the CSS in the styling, I'm just gonna add a property called hover. I hope I'm doing this right. I hope I am. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I'm not doing this right. I'm thinking that it should work. What am I missing? Yeah, this should work, right? Okay, let's say border, font px, solid, and blue. Okay, okay, that's perfect. But we have to change the color so we don't scare people away. Um, let's say something black. Probably change it to a better color sometime in the future. And also, our border radius doesn't look nice. Let's say 4px. Let's see what it looks like. I'm not liking this. Okay, why don't we change the background color? What could be to something lighter, right? Okay, so let's have green here, and then we'll just reduce the opacity. Okay, this makes a little more sense. So basically, RGBA just helps you to make some variation, add some variation to your color. This alpha is pretty much okay. I think I see a lot of more options here. We have three of them. Let's see RGBA, red, blue, green, alpha. If you're into designing, you'll know. Okay, that's not working. You'll know that you know what RGBA is used for. I won't be able to explain that now. But basically, you could add the opacity here. This stands for opacity. So if you want the color to disappear completely, you use zero. It works like from 0 to 1. If it's 1, that means the color is gonna be really. If it's closer to 1, that means the color is gonna be really visible. If it's closer to 0, it's going to be um, a lot lighter. That's basically how it works. So I think this is fine. So we'll be stopping here, and in the next video, I'm going to be adding the form. Yeah, this form, and yeah. So I hope you learned something. It was so much fun to do this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope if you have any questions, I'll really appreciate it if you drop them in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to your friends. Bye.